Hey, what's up, guys? If you're listening to this on YouTube, I am still setting everything up. Just getting the online thing dialed in, so feel free to look at the timestamp that I usually put in the comment section, saying what time that we start, so you don't have to listen to a bunch of dead air and uninteresting things, because I'm not even... Wasabi. That's topical.
Was that review from our podcast?
Yep.
No way. Wasn't that nice?
How nice. We're live, so
super live.
We're live right now. You know
it's like telling someone they're on speakerphone. Don't talk shit. Don't talk shit.
Yeah. I'm in the car right now with Greg at heart.
Hi, Greg.
All right. So are we ready to rock and roll?
Let's do it.
Ready to go.
Welcome to the Deuce Drop. I'm Dylan Chuck.
I'm John Booker.
And I'm Gina Murtalo.
In this podcast, we're reviewing the 6th episode of the first season of the HBO original series, The Deuce. And big shout out to our Patreon supporters. If you want to be a supporter of the show, you can go to patreon.com/thewatchandtalk. And massive shout out to our premium supporters, Shakita, June, and Kaka. And, as always, as a heads up, the show has extremely mature graphic content, and we'd be doing a disservice to the listeners by not be willing to speak about them frankly. So here's your warning. How are we doing, guys?
Good.
So good. I'm kind of sad though because I feel like we're on the fast downhill, journey of this show. We only have 2 episodes left now.
It is winding down. It is winding down.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, kind of makes me sad.
Crazy.
I think we just anyway. But yeah, it's and I'm still, again, I know I'm a broken record, but I'm disappointed that it showed stuff from the entire season. I don't think I've ever seen a show do that. Like show their for me trailer show stuff from so many episodes down. But
maybe you just need to work harder at forgetting what you trailer.
I'm sorry, that cut out.
Yeah, it did cut out.
I just said maybe you need to work harder at forgetting what you saw in the trailer.
Oh yeah, maybe I should, John. Maybe I should forget things that I watch more. If you hear us referring to somebody in the chat, it's because we stream these episodes live on YouTube. We already have Shakita hanging out in the chat.
Shakita!
As well as some other people hanging out. So if we hear people referring to them in the chat, it's because we stream these live on YouTube. If you go and search for The Watch and Talk on YouTube and subscribe, it'll give you a notification on your phone when we go live. Also, if you follow us on Twitter at the Deuce Drop, we usually give a fair warning a little bit before we go live. So yeah. All right. So we've been neglecting to go over some of our reviews that we got, and Dean and I went through and selected a nice review that we decided we'd read today because it's a huge help to us if you go on to iTunes and leave us a little quick review. So sometimes we'll read them on the air. Most of the time we'll read them on the air. I guess we just need to be better at it ourselves. But yeah, I think Gina will take away read the Greg at Heart review.
I surely will. So this is a review from Greg at Heart. Wow, love the show. This isn't like many of the TV show podcasts I listen to. The hosts know each other and joke around a lot, which stops us from being so wooden like most of the TV show podcasts I've listened to.
Why are you listening to wooden TV show podcasts? Greg at Heart?
Why would you do such a thing?
Yeah.
This guy likes off the rails, and we enjoy that as well.
Yes.
I've already checked out all the other work from all the hosts, and I'm a true fan. Thank you, Greg at Heart.
Thank you, Greg.
In 6 short episodes, we got Greg at Heart. At his heart. I can stop saying
we now possess his heart.
Anyway, thank you very much. If you guys want to do us a favor, and you can stop what you're doing right now, just go to iTunes, write us a review. We'll select one every week for the next. I think we're going to do 3 more episodes of this. We'll do the 2 episodes, and we'll do a review of the whole season. So, still 3 episodes left, and we'll pick at least 1 per episode and read it off. So, thank you guys very much.
Thank you in advance.
In advance. All right, let's get to the episode. It's called "Why Me," which is a response to the James Franco movie from last year, "Why Him."
I was going to ask, I don't really understand the title for the series. Does anyone get that?
Of the episode?
Yeah, I'm sorry, the episode, not the series.
It's a line of dialogue
in the episode.
Rudy,
he says, "Why me?"
Oh. I think I zoned out at the very end.
Your internet's cutting out too.
Mine is?
Gina, yeah. Are you connected to your Wi-Fi?
Yes, I am.
Did you disconnect from it?
Let me get unconnected. I will tell you when I... Are you just stamping away over there?
I'm amped it.
Dylan, be honest. How long did you... How long have you been holding that "why him" joke, waiting for the podcast to start?
Just came up with it right at the last second.
Yeah, I totally believe that.
Well, I would admit it.
I bet you've been all day thinking about that joke, just excited about the podcast tonight, so you could drop that little
my friend.
humor
You
bomb.
lost all the marbles. But that does happen all the time.
Do you? Do you think up little humor bits, little nuggets of humor for us?
I take a note with it, but yeah. But this time, no. I actually just came up with that at the last possible second.
You are one clever gentleman, sir.
Thank you.
Hello?
You, Booker. Hello, Gina.
Hi, sorry.
Well, okay, so what were we saying? You were saying,
well, you said it was called Why Me, but you can go ahead and edit that out if you'd like.
Of course. I took a timestamp. But,
cool.
But yeah, you were saying that, or we told you, last thing we recorded from you was that we recorded, that we said that that's what Vincent asks Rudy Piccolo at the end of the episode. He's like, why me? And he's like, I trust you.
Right.
So
just one of you just want to like say that? Okay. Oh yeah. I don't know how to do this. Can we just go back like further or something?
And the Oscar goes to...
I'm the worst.
No, just do the oh yeah again and we'll move on. I swear we won't laugh.
It sounds so bad.
Let's
or just start with the episode's called Why Me.
Oh yeah, totally right.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah. But there was like 2 episodes ago where I had rewatched the episode looking for the line from it, and I didn't spot it, which you guys helped me out with. I don't remember exactly what.
Yeah, I was watching late night, so
it happens all the time, but it's a fun thing. Still, I really hate that the episode title of 2 episodes ago wasn't "Do you like movies?" I mean, I really wish that was the title. That would have been too perfect. Anyway, let's get to the episode. Vincent and Bobby come by the pimp barbershop and talk about using their girls for the massage parlor. I don't know why I said massage parlor. I should call it a parlor, right?
Oh, that's the front. The front is the massage parlor.
All right, I'll call it a massage parlor.
Then people might think it's an ice cream parlor.
Correct.
It's true. There are
you got to specify the parlor.
There are many parlors,
but not an ice cream parlor. You know what I'm saying?
Or a funeral parlor, because there's a lot of different types of parlors.
If Candy's there, it's a funeral parlor.
Oh, call back.
Ooh.
Anyway,
wow, nice work.
When they bring Bobby in, they're like, the pimps are like, I smell bacon. They just make
they hate him.
Cop comments. He does kind of look like a cop.
Yeah, he does.
He's so not a cop, though. I felt bad for him. Like, they just pegged him as such, and he's not even a cop.
Oh,
he was looking the part of a cop, though.
He's not fitting in with the pimpies. All right. But yeah, they talk about the business, and he's like, you're not a pimp. And they kind of make fun of them over and over again. And then they're like, all right, what are you going to give us for our women? And he goes, hey, you're going to pay me. And the jokes went nowhere at that point. It went from laughing and smiling to just not very happy. And they're like, get the fuck out of here. They scared him off.
Yeah, I feel like those guys were not filled in on what the actual situation was. It sounded like there was some miscommunication there.
Well, to be fair, the way that Vincent presented this this proposal, it really needed some help. He needed a PowerPoint presentation or something in order to break this down, because it was really a poor proposal.
Hey, you're gonna pay me. You just go in there and be like, dude, you pay me. And you use my establishment without the cops bothering you, and you guys keep whatever you guys keep taking there.
Yeah, his sales technique was lacking, to say the least.
Shakita in the chat brings up that the actor who plays Bobby did play a cop on True Blood.
Yes. Yes.
The pimps must have seen True Blood. Huge fans.
The pimps are big True Blood fans, seems like.
They time traveled to the future, saw True Blood, went back.
But Shakita's point is well taken. I mean, because the creators of True Blood obviously looked at this guy and saw cop. So how can we not look at this guy and say cop?
So after the opening credits, Candy is prepping for a porn role. And she's really hung up on the fact that you only get paid for that once. Every time that it gets seen, you're not getting paid for it. And even though people will be watching it forever, you only get paid one time for it. And Harvey, funny now that his name is Harvey, right?
Wow, in light of the
Harvey
entertainment
Weinstein.
industry,
You're right.
yeah, that's it. It
Harsh
Oh, that's
is
some
ironic.
Hear that
inside
name.
baseball there.
It's harsh to hear a person behind the camera named Harvey at all. Anyway, he's kind of like, this is just the way it is. And then I like her introducing herself to the male talent that she's gonna be filming with, and he like looks all stoked on her, and then it just switches immediately to them having sex. And it's also interesting too how they split up how they film it. Like they filmed the orgasm scene early on, just because they had the camera framed up.
You know, it's speaking of inside baseball. It feels like they are really, doing their best to show us just how unsexy the filming of porn actually is,
Right.
because it is so businesslike, and it's a wonder that either person in front of the camera can perform, because it is so unsexy, especially on this show.
And then the guy kind of blows his load early, way early, it appears. And then he has to go get going again. And Andy can't help because she'd have to be reset. And he asked one of the assistants to. And she's like,
You couldn't pay me
enough.
enough.
Can't pay me enough.
That was a good line.
And then he goes and grabs a magazine. And you saw what magazine he grabbed?
Yeah, it was a
men's
gay porn magazine.
Yeah, you think a guy nudie mag. Hombre.
Mhm.
Well,
Something like
then
that.
Candy couldn't have helped anyway, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because he seemed attracted to her when he rolled up. He was like checking her out. So I
Right.
just think that he probably.
There you
in
go.
this- In this situation, he was more in the mood, dude. And JB.
I know what you're saying. You know what I'm saying. We're on the same page, brother.
At the end of the shoot, Harvey tells her hey, you did really good today. You're very pro. And she's like, Maggie Gyllenhaal delivers this perfectly. When she's like, pro, yeah, well, I really can't do it as well as she can, but she just subtly just responds, pro, yeah. Well.
In the Academy Award for Best Male Performance on the podcast goes to Dylan Shock. Nice job, sir.
Guys. There we
Yeah.
go. Thank you guys very much. I'd like to thank my mom, and that's it.
I think I'm a lock for best female performance
You are, Gina.
on this podcast.
I think you are a lock, but don't count your chickens before they hatch, okay, Gina?
Okay.
At the police station, they're talking about how they're cracking down on hookers on the street corners, and it's clearly something's going on behind the scenes with the higher ups to promote the new massage parlor.
Yep.
We're also finding out in this episode, especially, we're finding out that we're only seeing the people with boots on the ground dealing with things, and there's people behind the scenes that we're not seeing at all. Rudy talks about his boss.
Yeah.
We've not met at all.
Isn't that the one we met who he joked around that he was in there with his niece?
I thought we haven't.
I
met him.
assumed
Maybe
that
I'm
was
mistaken.
Rudy's
Maybe I'm
boss.
mistaken.
Yeah,
I
it's the
think
one
I think
thought.
he's higher up the chain. If he's not his boss, he is a boss. He definitely is
Yeah.
higher up the chain for sure.
Rudy was like answering to him,
But
but it was very quick.
I'm sorry. Help me out again with what you guys are talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
So
The
remember,
guy.
Rudy goes and it's a mob guy and a young girl walks out, and Rudy insinuates that he was having sex with her, and he goes, "Oh no, that's my niece." Like, you sicko.
Oh, yeah.
And then Rudy goes in and talks to him. I assumed that was Rudy's boss.
Okay, interesting. Okay, no, I know. I remember that scene that you're talking about, but I don't remember a boss context being there. But maybe we'll have better information about.
No, I assumed the same thing, and why I assumed that was because Rudy had to wait outside until this guy allowed him in. It's like a respect thing. If it were, if they were on an even keel, I would think that Rudy would not be waiting outside to talk to this guy.
Well, regardless, there's still a lot of things going on behind the scenes that we're not seeing. We're seeing the boots on the ground, but we're not seeing the people making decisions in the ivory towers at this point yet.
True.
Right, especially with the police. We've only seen that precinct pretty much.
Right.
And also, Rudy has given the appearance a lot on the show that he's the biggest boss, but he's not.
Right.
He's just another. He's a higher up enforcer of some sort, but he's not like the Dawn or anything like that.
Right.
So Rudy comes to the hi-hat and says he needs a couple guys outside of his crew for a little spy job. And Vincent asks him to get help with the girls because it didn't go well with the pin. Rudy has Mike and Frankie, White Frankie, watch people that pick up coins from his. It's not his machines, but it's his stores, and he's supposed to get a cut of it. But the people, when they're taking the coins out, they're skimming it, so he gets a smaller percentage than he's actually supposed to be.
Yep.
And it appears
this was my favorite part of the episode, watching them try to spy. It was my favorite part. I thought it was so they did a terrible job. It was hilarious.
They got the job completely done without any hitches.
They sure did, but the whole time I just kept being like, they are so obvious. These guys are going to catch on and beat them up. So in the end, it worked out, but I thought it was comedically like really well done.
I don't know.
I found it funny.
I think that it wasn't. See, I had a different perspective on it because they were unknown to them. So yeah, I think that it looked obvious to us because we know that they're spying on them, but I'm sure in the what's the guy's name, Fat Mooney's place of business, everybody comes in there's a weirdo, and that Mike kind of brazenly went up in front of them and grabbed a magazine in front of them and started drawing. I think it was just showing that he had the guts to get up and close and weird them out with whatever he's doing, that they could never even think that he's spying on them.
Yeah, to Gina's point though, when Mike goes up and is looking right at them and starts drawing, even Fat Mooney gives a very peculiar look at that point. So it does give us some sort of insight into the fact that these guys who are picking up all the money, they suspect nothing because they certainly were not being cautious about who was watching them.
Right. I think they're just so used to doing it and don't think anything of it, and think that perhaps they don't even know they're doing something wrong and they were instructed by somebody else to do it. So it appears that they're pretty brazen about it, so it doesn't seem like they're trying to hide anything.
Right.
So yeah. While they're seeing all the skimming, they see a lot of different skimming that happens. We get a good idea of why Rudy likes Vincent so much. One of the few guys that he knows isn't skimming, isn't trust. And it seems like he's even tested him if he would take any extra off the top or whatever.
Yeah, it sounds like that's pretty rare on the Deuce.
Right.
We see a lot of people who are not necessarily, going to do the right thing, and Vinny seems to usually do the right thing. So it's interesting to see that this guy who has his hand in a lot of not very legal things is like, but I need guys like Vinny to work for me.
Yeah.
Rudy calls Mike Wilt the Stilt.
Wilt Chamberlain reference. Very nice.
Oh, I did not get that.
Very
until right now.
Well, it's funny at the time, Wilt Chamberlain was playing, so actually it would be like referring to somebody as LeBron James right now, or
Shaq.
Well, not Shaq, because
just because he's like really tall,
right? But I'm just saying I'm saying a currently playing athlete.
Yeah, topical basketball reference.
For us, it's like it's such an old school reference, but at the time, obviously it'd be like, look at this guy, look at Tom Brady over here. So they stop at Fat Mooney's, and first, as soon as they start pouring it out, Fat Mooney comes up with a little pan, and he takes some coins right off the bat. And again, Mike gets really close to them, starts drawing. It was so weird. And they keep
them. What did you think he was doing there? I was really confused at that point. I had no idea why he was drawing anything.
Yes, he got
did you guys suspect anything?
Yeah.
While he was right there?
Yeah, they reveal later that he was designing the peep show booth.
Mm-hmm. But at the time, I had no idea what he could be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, it just looked like he was just trying to get up there and get in front of them, and trying to make it seem like he was doing something else, which I might have been half of his motivation, to be honest. But anyway, so they see several skims along the way, and then after Frankie's like, all right, we've seen enough. Mike, why don't you go hail a cab? And he's like, me? We'll be here all night. And he's like, all right, fair enough. Vincent and Tommy go and negotiate some hookers for the parlor for the first night. And they get back and they're complaining a lot. Wait, what was this? This was some sort of whorehouse that they went to?
Yeah, it was a massage parlor as well, because you saw the girls were all in these sort of nurse outfits. You know, they were all dressed alike. And so it was a massage parlor out by the airports, which, little side note, even to this day, many illegal massage parlors are located near airports because they cater to businessmen coming in and out of the area. That's your little tip for the day from your friend John.
Useful knowledge. Thank you, John.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
So then Rudy walks into a guy named Marty's establishment, and he's counting all the coins, and he works for the Horse, a guy who I believe we meet for the first time later.
Yeah.
And you can hear a lady yelling at Rudy while he's walking in, "Stop! You can't go in there!" And him just disregarding it. So he says he's taking all the coins and counting them himself.
And I like how he phrases it as, "Oh, they're going to help you out with the count. Like, lucky you."
I wonder if he's going to.
That line was well delivered.
This is going to be, it's going to be drawn over the points.
Well, you know, it felt like a bit of a false beat to me, because if all these guys are sort of gangster type figures, I was really surprised he let Rudy and his guys walk out of there with that money. That one got, it just didn't feel quite right to me.
I think that he knows that his boss, Rudy's boss, seems to be intimidating to both him, Marty, and the Horse.
Yeah. Well, and this goes back to
boss to the Horse also.
Well, this goes back to the broken record that I play every single episode, that this is a show about power. And I think we saw in that moment this real demonstration of power, that in that situation, even though the audience is a bit unaware of the dynamics between these two characters, Rudy knows he has the power in this situation. And we're seeing that play out, you know, in his confidence to call this guy to task. And certainly Rudy then, you know, is able to walk out of there with the money. So again, every scene in every episode is sort of this tennis match about the balance of power.
Paul and Abby, who have seemed to become quite the BFFs at the hi-hat, have a funny conversation about how stupid everyone must look chasing each other around for a second. Which is a fair enough point. And she says if it wasn't so much fun, it'd be ridiculous. And then Vincent gets back right then and, you know, complains about all the work. He's, you know, his dogs are barking. And she's like, need help?
Yeah, I think the line was, I need to wash the city off of me. And she goes, you need help?
Yes.
She doesn't miss much, that Abby.
And he's like, all right. Now we're talking. Anyway, they sleep together and they have a cute little adorable time talking about music.
Yeah. They're cute.
They're cute, but he's also like 15 years older than him.
Is it me, or did it seem like in the last episode she was really playing hard to get, and in this episode she had completely flipped the switch on that? She was all about him.
This show, a lot of the scenes are about power and her exerting power over him.
That is freaking brilliant, man.
It's really more about the power structure.
Oof. That is really smart. I'd say more about that.
John Booker. Anyway, back at court, Rudy and the Horse talk. Basically, the machines are in his place of business. Again, he's not getting what he's supposed to get. And he says, you have a problem with what I did? Take it up with his boss. And we're, again, not sure if we have seen his boss or not. If we're more about him, or if it's going to be more of a ground level story. Which, you know, is just as interesting to me. So the court is seeing another pornography case. It seems like the court ruling of porn is changing every day, and the mafia has an investment.
Yeah, they all show up to the courtroom to hear about this decision. It seemed like everybody who had a vested interest in illegal activities or the sex trade, they all showed up to hear what this judge was going to rule.
Yeah, it was interesting to see Harvey next to the horse.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they're connected. Like, I always enjoy those scenes where it feels like the characters are from different worlds and then they're right together.
Eileen is talking to her mom and says she'll never go back to being a prostitute. She's left that business. I don't know if we realized a couple episodes before this that she was kind of getting over being a prostitute.
I guess she's made the leap into another industry.
Still not completely clear on that. Do you think she?
Maybe they need another episode explaining her being over it. I'm being mean. Someone comes home in the middle of their convo, and it seems like it's her dad.
Yeah, that was
I thought guess. Dad or like a stepdad. I think it's the dad, but could be like a father figure too.
She won't speak to him. She escapes the back, and then she says something about visiting her brother. So apparently something happened between them, and her brother's in jail because of it.
That was my take on it. Yeah.
I love how much isn't spoon-fed us. Right, we're just supposed to listen to the interactions and try to put together what we can.
Yeah. I like, though, that they sort of, to me, that's what makes it such a real world that they're building, is that they don't go out of their way to overly explain this stuff, but you sort of get the inclination, because that's how we find out about people in real life. You know, people make comments, people say things, and we sort of read into that, and we make, we create meaning out of that. So I think it's actually really smart on the part of the writers to let us learn about these characters in much the same way we learn about people, that we encounter every day in life.
Yeah, and she's, again, a great actor. And a lot of them are really great actors and actresses. And they convey so much with how they're feeling. Like, when she heard that car pull up, her eyes got huge. She looked terrified. Yeah. And it's like, we can get a lot of information just from their reactions. And, like, we know that whoever that is, it's not someone she wants to see. It's someone she has, deep-seated issues with. And so we get all that just really from a look. So you're right. The show is just very good at doing that.
Yeah.
At the parlor, it seems the white pimp has been the first one to make a deal with them.
Yeah, go figure.
When
He's a pushover.
When Bobby's opening up, he says, all right, you got to finish your drink. No pimps in the parlor when they're open. It's a house rule. Very interesting
and
rule.
He's like, okay.
Well, my guess is that rule is created by the higher up mafia figures, and that rule is probably born out of experience. They probably have other, those other massage parlors, and maybe pimps were allowed and they had problems. And so my guess is that rule completely is born out of the bad experiences they've had in the past.
Plus,
the
pimps are probably intimidating for
be.
people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Who wants to come in to get a massage and you've got a bunch of like really tough, scary looking men hanging out there?
Would that bother you,
really
Dylan?
The environment.
Well, I appreciate Gina for not bringing up race, and I appreciate that because it is not.
No.
But the thing is, the white guy isn't scary at all. The white
Dylan, you
right, but I mean, I know, but like you don't want a bunch of men. I feel like they're trying to create a certain environment.
Right.
For people to want to come to a classier feel than picking some girl up off the street.
Right.
So with that, like, they can't see that the girls have pimps because then it doesn't feel as classy.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to get mad dogged on my way into getting a $15 HJ at a massage parlor.
Dylan, you avoided my question when I asked a few moments ago, but would that be intimidating for you if you're in the lobby of
I just said I wouldn't want to get mad dogged by a bunch of guys on my way into getting a $15 HJ.
I kind of would like to expand on you answering this question because I feel like it's worth our exploration. Is it the fact that there are men there, that they are black men, that they are pimps? What is it, Dylan? Let's get to the basics.
Intimidating men.
Intimidating men. And why are they intimidating?
Mad dogging is the phrase.
Mad dogging.
I'm not trying to be
Okay.
mad dogged.
It's a look. It's a look they give. Like they want to kill you.
Right.
Which is how they would look at someone who's coming in to go hook up with their girl.
Right.
I would assume.
Okay.
What are you guys thinking? Tweet us in at the Deuce Drop or email us at deucedrop@gmail.com. Let us know if you would like to get mad dogged before you get, go and pay somebody for sex. All right. So outside, all the hookers are getting arrested, and the pimps are getting hassled, and Larry gets his car towed.
Yeah. Did you hear the cops?
This is a Christmas episode, by the way.
Oh. Yeah. It didn't feel
That was
like
such a sad moment to me.
Wait,
I was so sad for Larry.
They talked about the Christmas bonuses being the overtime if you go and stay with if you go into the court for hookers. Does Merry Christmas when he's towing him, and there, if I remember correctly, Eileen's kid is opening up Christmas presents.
Oh yeah,
by a Christmas tree when they're in there, and that's the only thing that made it feel like Christmas. What?
Oh yeah.
They kept commenting about how cold it was too.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. But
no warm, fuzzy Christmas feelings about this episode.
It didn't begin to look a lot like Christmas.
Now that might have been a bit over the top if it's going to snow right at Christmas time.
And what if the
hey, it's New York.
The trailer for this episode said on next week's very special holiday episode.
The holiday episode of The Deuce.
Can I have a towel? Anyway, so Frankie and Mike show Rudy their idea for a masturbatorium, and I love how he's like, the guy goes in there and he has a little privacy, like it's in the stalls in those fancy bathrooms, and then he's like, I get it, and then it's like a moment of like, these guys have something going on here, and then Frankie goes, yeah, the guys can go jerk off in there.
He's such an idiot. I love it. I said,
clarifying things.
Yeah, I really am finding this episode especially had some comedic moments in it that I really enjoyed. And I think I've made before we started watching even, I made the comparison to Boogie Nights. And something that I love about that movie is it's so deadly serious at points and so sexual at points, but it's so funny at points. And I feel like this episode really kind of walked that line of these like cute little funny moments kind of sprinkled into what can sometimes be a pretty heavy show.
It's pretty interesting to watch sort of the evolution of the peep show booth, kind of come into play, because I didn't realize there was ever a time, that they had these peeps without, a dome around them of some sort, to protect one's privacy while using them.
I've never seen a peep show booth.
Really?
I don't think so.
I've been into like an adult bookstore before, and I think they were in there.
You didn't go check them out?
Like you just go in and like I think I was in high school, and like we decided to like sneak into an adult bookstore, went in and just left. It's really stupid.
You didn't do some research for the show?
No, I did not.
Well,
that's your job.
To again, your friend John can give you a little bit of insight here that especially in New York City, these booths that showed loops just of sex acts just looping over and over, but eventually, and I think we're maybe even going to see this on the show. No, before that, they actually started putting real live girls in these peep show booths, and actually one of the longest running peep shows with actual girls in them was in the San Francisco area, and in San Francisco it ran up until I want to say like 2010 or something.
Whoa.
There's these peep show booths that people would put a token in, the window would come up, and then there would be a actual live girl there that they would tip and have her do sexual acts.
And then the internet came along.
The internet really threw a monkey wrench in the peep show game.
Really did.
Yeah, it's very interesting to hear all the things that people used to have to do to have a quick wank. Yeah. Anyway, so Alston is laying it on thick to Sandra, and he's like, I can't date a source.
Yeah, that was harsh.
And he's like, I don't want to be a source. And she goes, okay, you're not a source. And he agrees that he's never seen it like this. And he doesn't get what's going on necessarily. They're pretty much cracking down on all the prostitutes. And he's like, I don't get it. Where do they think the trash is going to flow other than the Deuce? Because you want to hear flow and the Deuce in the same sentence.
Beautiful.
So, back at the porn studio, somebody called out, and they need a brunette, and Candy knows what she. And she goes to the diner and gets Lori, who seems to finally be getting along with Jessica.
Yeah, they're like BFFs, sharing pie.
They're about to have banana cream pie.
Yeah.
And
even when she has to leave.
What?
Even when she has to leave, she wants to make sure that she's still going to spot her banana cream pie. She wants to make sure she's still going to get that. I mean, I guess that particular diner has some killer banana cream pie.
I'm not into banana cream pie, guys.
Oof, you're missing out on life.
I'm not into pie in general.
You know what I'm into? A
I'm not a pie gal.
Oof.
This week on Talking Pie, with John Booker and Dylan Shaw.
I'm talking sweets because I want a Pizookie right now.
Oh, I'm all about that.
Yeah, it's what's your? They have lots of different kinds of Pizookies. Just go with the basic one. They have a menu of Pizookies now. Just get the basic chocolate chip.
When is the basic Pizookie not enough?
What?
When is the basic Pizookie not enough?
Yeah, you gotta keep it simple. It's like In-N-Out.
That's right.
Gotta keep it simple.
Yep. Now I really want one.
And you want
this episode is sponsored by BJ's.
Yes.
The restaurant. As I said it, I was like, this is not going to sound right.
Sponsored by BJ's. If you're looking to get a BJ, use the promo code the Deuce Drop. Get 20% off your first BJ.
To get nothing.
Lori gets there and they start prepping her. And she's in costume and ready. Then Cece arrives and
she looks scared.
Yeah.
And makes them pay him much more.
A lot.
Yeah. This was a harsh scene. It really was harsh.
And when he finally gets it, he gets a smile. He says, paid in full. You may now roll the fucking camera.
Ooh, power trip.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like scenes like this are about power.
That's so funny you'd bring that up because I was wondering if this scene had anything to do with power.
It did.
It did. Okay, good.
So,
man, I'm starting to see a pattern here.
Speaking of power, Lieutenant Sweeney goes and tells the pimp it's going to stay like this. How they're cracking down. He's like, it's not just for the holidays. It's going to be like this all the way at least until February.
Mm-hmm.
And that they should listen to any offer that comes along about taking the hookers off the pavement. So I don't know why the pimps aren't more pissed at Vincent for seeming like Vincent went behind their back and is shaking them down.
I think they still see Vincent as one of them. I don't think they see him as the source of the shakedown. I think they see him as a cog in the wheel just like they are.
I know, but you'd think that would go away once they realize that the thing he's setting up has the cops shaking them down and forcing them into. Strong arm.
Right, you think they'd make the connection to him.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's fair. I can see that.
Alston and Flanagan see it, and they're like, what the hell is going on? And then Vincent tells the pimps the whole deal. So they pay them per hooker, and then they get to keep what they make. This doesn't seem like... I don't know. This doesn't seem like the best way to stream in as much money as you possibly can, paying for every hooker. Like, you'd think you'd need a percentage.
It speaks to me that there is so much money coming through that operation that everybody is going to make out like bandits and actually make more money and have less stress in the situation.
Probably except for the women.
Yeah, correct.
They're going to get screwed in the end. But
they're going to get screwed in the end, Gina?
Oh, that's not what I meant.
In the special room.
I almost said they're going to get fucked, and then I was like, well, that's bad. And then, the other way I said it didn't work either.
Cussing for me on this.
It's almost like there's
it feels good
power
sometimes.
dynamic going on in that relationship.
So Harvey says he doesn't have any more work for Eileen for a month, and she's like, "What am I supposed to do for money?" And he's like, "Do what you did before." And she's like, "No." She storms up to her place, and he comes up, and he's like, "I feel like shit. Can I come in?" And she's having a drink, and he asks for a club soda. So it seems like he doesn't drink.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "I feel really bad about what happened." She goes, "I'll get over it." And then he kind of connects her with a sort of an escort service.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what that's all about.
Yeah, it sounded like it's an escort service, or maybe some sort of like high-end brothel that is run by
What
a
if it's the massage parlor?
Ooh, could be.
That'd be funny. I mean, it might be he's in cahoots with everyone that's running the massage parlor.
But he mentions it's a woman that runs this operation. Yeah, so that's why I thought maybe it's a madame that has a high-end escort service or something.
Yeah, probably.
Sweeney comes into the massage parlor asking for a cut. He said $500 a week. Another power move, John.
That guy is such an asshole.
Power everywhere.
And he's like, I just work here, but I think arrangements were made downtown. He goes, yeah, that's downtown. This is for the 14th only.
It's the same shakedown he gave to Vincent.
And again, think about how many people are getting a cut out of this business. Like how many hands are in this pie. And it's got to tell you about how much money must be coming in for everybody to get this sort of cut.
Larry talks to Darlene about doing porn, basically. And she has a problem with it because porn is forever. What if I have kids? Or if my kids have little kids?
Or grandkids.
Right. She just have future plans at some point. And she's like, you tapping Loretta for this? And he's like, Loretta's busy. Got a regular paying her top dollar. Uh-oh. See how that goes. Vincent asks Rudy, why me? And Rudy's like, yo, I'm swimming in the Shark Tank here. He's like, these are my allies, supposedly. But, you know, they're nothing but fucking thieves. I trust you.
Because they're fucking thieves. Like, you're all doing illegal shit. Why would you not think that people are going to be, you know, screwing you over?
Exactly.
It's just an outsider's perspective from me.
Just scroll back.
You're all liars.
It's a fair point.
Just scroll back real quick. I do have to say, too, that Candy did discuss how she said, she's like, Harvey, I came to you because I wanted to learn how to do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that we already knew this, but it seems like he has taken a liking to her, and it seems like he's helped promise eventually. Or he's
when he can.
A rival. When he can.
Yeah, he explained, he's like, I don't have that much in production right now. Like, I don't really need that much help. But he does seem like once it's up and running, that he will help her and teach her.
So you don't think she'll go back to prostitution? You think she's over it?
Think she's trying to make a move into a different line of work.
God.
Episode ends with Darlene sitting on one of the parlor cubicles, listening to people doing the sex stuff together,
and shaking the wall.
The sex stuff.
Doing it seemed like an earthquake happening. And
yeah.
2 episodes left, guys.
I can't believe it's only 2. I feel like this episode really pushed the momentum. There were a lot of things that have been happening separately that came together, and I left the episode being like, ooh, like, we're making moves, we're getting somewhere. Not to say that I didn't enjoy the first episodes, but this one just had a push to it that I really enjoyed.
I agree.
Yep, me too.
I feel like we've accomplished.
Yeah. The next episode being the penultimate episode, I'm guessing, I'm going to go ahead and predict. I'm going to go out there. I think somebody's going to die next episode.
Yeah, the mob has been way too friendly this whole time.
Yep.
And I get it. That's the storytelling that's happening. I'm not
also, I don't think the mob is like everything is like you'd think in the movies, that they're just going around killing people left and right. But I agree that somebody's
There's protocol.
I think it would be safe to assume somebody for the skimping the coins may potentially get.
Yeah.
The only death I believe we've seen was a guy getting a blowjob.
Yep.
We need more death, guys. More death. More death.
Wait, no, we don't need that.
Where
really
can
don't.
people follow you on the internet, John Booker?
They can follow me on Twitter at John, JOHNKBUCHER, or check out my website at tellingabetterstory.com.
Gina Murtayo.
People ask me if that's what my last name is all the time.
Where can people follow you on the internet?
I am on Twitter as Gina Murtalo. GINAMIRTALLO, and you are welcome to follow me and tweet me, and we will have a conversation, and it will be fun.
And for me, you can follow me at Chuckster, CHUCKSTR. Go to thewatchandtalk.com, check out my movie review podcast. This last week, we just reviewed The Foreigner, the new Jackie Chan movie. Did you check that out, John Booker?
I did not check it out. Was it good?
I loved it.
Really?
Spoiler alert for my review, but I absolutely loved it from start to finish. Way more than I thought it was going to. It wasn't even on my radar. And next week we're reviewing, I believe, The Snowman, the new Michael Fassbender. Then the week afterwards, we got the new Saw movie coming out, and
they made another Saw movie.
Yeah, I got a lot of research. I've been doing a lot I'm rewatching them. I got an article coming out for Hollywood Reporter about the Saw movies altogether, so I'm doing a lot of work, and we're gonna rank all of the Saw movies like that.
How many are there now?
This will be the 8th Saw movie.
Oh boy, that's
Thank
a
you
lot.
for helping me sell that. I really appreciate it. For the show, you can follow us at the Deuce Drop. Email us at thedeucedrop@gmail.com. Go to our website, thedeucedrop.com, or go to our Facebook at facebook.com. That's the Watch and Talk. And that's it. I'm Dylan Chuck.
I'm John Booker.
And I'm Gina Murtalo.
And we'll see you next week. All right, we got ourselves a short episode. Our shortest episode yet.
Yeah, I feel like that went really fast.
It did. I don't mind
That's what
the
Candy
shorter.
said as she was filming a porn.
I don't mind the shorter episodes, though. I think